I'm in Germany. I'm about to take some photos of some clothes. The two-tone jacket, made of 100% cotton. Too many details to get into. Really like how this jacket fits. Nylon cotton cargo pants, updated fit, construction, and details. And hooded long sleeve, made of 100% comb cotton. Fits really nicely. All this stuff will be out alongside this video. I also have a bunch of prototypes and samples I'm working on. I'm gonna wear test them here, even though it's kind of warm out, but this really cool beanie we're working on. 2 different colorways, melange and black. Fits really cool. We got some new contrast stitch socks, wool socks that are really nice, kind of like ski hockey inspired. Got a new quarter zip in all black, dyed gray hoodie, some wax shorts, this new care label I'm working on. And yeah, I'm gonna be wear testing all this stuff. Let's go. Cotton, black shorts, socks.
Super beat. The only thing with Boris shoes is just always the sole falls apart at some point. Like even here, like as you see how this goes away. It's a bit annoying, but rubber Carol belt from Safe. I really like the buckle on this one. Carol kangaroo 9-finger. I really like this colorway. We used to have them in like a green, but I think the white one is better. When I was interning at Leonormand Blanc, by the end of it I was able to make myself my own jacket. Horsehide, put the collada on the inside. You can still see the stamp the horse had. Yeah. This is the aviator. I love the super extended elbow. I think that's the best part always on Leon jackets. I wear this every day. This is the guillotine bag. This is the first prototype. 2009 mail. This is the first sample, the date. I think they ended up using thicker leather and like
more drip.
The way they do
I think they dipped it more.
Yeah.
So sick.
We bought this from a guy who used to work at Carol. Apparently this is also a sample, but it doesn't have a tag in it. So well made. So we're almost certain that this must also be Carol prototype, and he claims it to be. We're having it checked out by Sergio right now. But the whole thing is like twisted. The seams align with the sleeve. The pattern is absolutely amazing. We also have it as a shorter jacket, but it's not here right now. The fabric is kind of ripping because of the big needle he was using, but I think it's nice. Big overlock, big threads. I mean, these machines are huge that he uses for this. Insanely made. See-through pigskin skirt. I think one of the first, if not his first collection. From his first female collections. And you don't wear it as a skirt. You wear it like thighs. It stops here. It's super thin. And even the pores are holes, right? Because it's so thin. His family was in the leather industry. I think he makes a lot of his own leathers, and I'm pretty sure he kind of came up with it. I mean, at least I heard that he was the first one to ever get this transparency in leather. This year's Johann Zafati. He was one of the founders of Y Project. This was the beginning of Y Project, back when it was much more, I want to say, dark wear, avant-garde. 2011. I just love when it's like hand stitched, and then also with the elastics in the sleeve, so when you wear it, it gets more comfortable. The leather inside has this cracked paint coating. You can hear it when you wear it too. It makes it more stiff. The pockets are here. They're really cool. Johann Zafati died, and then Glenn took over. Walter van Barendonk 99 leather jacket, rubber spikes all over. It says the W and LT like that. This thing is even detachable. Already ripping a little bit because it's so old. Super nice jacket. One of our last Walter pieces that we really kept. Horsehide and wool Boris 2014 leather jacket. It's also on the runway. I've never felt such a wet leather It's so soft, feels almost oily, I want to say. Pull strap. And we have a thing for red. Red leathers is, to us, one of the most beautiful things ever. I don't believe there's so many of them. Super old Carol with the weird pattern. It's like dress pants in blue. It's like a twill cotton. This is the Deep Tea Crash. There's two versions of this one where in between is open and it's just attached on these. But this one is the more wearable one, just not as delicate. Hand stitch, Boris pants, these are P13s. And these are the hand stitch, so every single seam here is hand stitched down to the last detail. There was no machine used. I heard this once that this really takes 32 hours to make. This is the skinny version. This has elastan in it, but even the buttonholes, like everything is hand stitched. These are the half hand stitch ones, where it's only details. This, but the rest is machine made. I think he called it like punk gray or something. And we believe this one is based on the model he always wore. Just like the stains are very similar. Carol blazer. You can see how he made it. Like he made it so you can see all the hand stitchings and the shoulder pad and the neon stitching. And when you wear it, you don't see it. Only if like the flap kind of goes like this. But I think that's a nice detail. Off-center button. Our introduction to metal. This is our favorite band. This is from the same band. Wolfhost. Dutch black metal. Some women's Carol. The idea of this boot is that it's a bit tilted back, so when you wear it, like you get a lot of creases here. This is like a fourth or third pair, I don't know anymore. We always get these. And he used to own like a football club. So we have the whole set. We had a second version of this, and Bick & Bags bought it. And we also have the shoes, but they're not here right now. These are the boots. These are the derbies. Also super beat, because we wear this so much. We have a thing for red boots, all black and then a red boot. These are the Tornadoes, also Colada. It's a super nice pair. Some Leon boots, asymmetric. Also, I think this is the Guidi horse. The soles are asymmetrical, you can see here, it's different. Boris canvas with the tank sole. Also unworn, these are completely new. Pigskin Carol. This is a prototype and it has the rubber and it's falling off if you wear it. And these are women's size. You can see it even more, it's like squares I think they put on. And after a while you can see the raw pig hide. Aviator LS, so loose stitch Leonomano Blanc jacket.
City of the
pattern, like there's so much of it.
It's all sewn in like French seam, which is incredible.
Boris leather shirt. This is where the thumb goes. But this one is really tiny. You really have to be skinny to fit this. I mean, it says S, but definitely fits smaller. Boris tipped seam jacket. This is the hooded version. And this super nice canvas. I love this jacket. The cold dye makes the seam pop even more. Women's runway rig. I really like this jacket because of the hybrids between leather and cotton. And then shirling has a zipper here with a little pocket. Yeah. I wish I could fit this. Suit jacket blazer, the metal button, cufflink almost. Super nice. You don't see too much of this stuff for women. Rig, this is Moody 14, cashmere, leather. I think this is cotton or tech fabric. The elbow detail on this one is so nice. This is a layer 0 long coat. Actually not too long, but it's like a moleskin kind of cotton. Beautiful. Another Carol shirt, like it's the see-through version. I always call it window stitch because it's kind of like see-through. I don't think I've ever had a shirt fit this good. Second version of the Exploder. Really nice color. Winter jacket.
Damn, this is nice. I don't even think he uses this fabric anymore.
No. And which I also really love is because we wore it so much that it starts to rip here, but that's just something we love. Sisyphus. Yeah. This is the one from the runway. This one thing goes around your leg. This goes over your shoulder, I believe. Weird to wear. I've never worn this. Boris, also with the scar stitch, laser cut tee. This is super long, but so nice. Castelbajac glove jacket, so it's made out of gloves. This is a women's size, and I think it was dyed. That's why the contrast seams. This is a Kimberly jacket. I really like this plain weave cotton. Kimberly always has super nice details. The leather sleeves, really dope. But you could close it all the way, but I like this dramatic, this detail here that it ends here and then goes back up. This is a beaver jaw. We're originally from Munich, and traditional Lederhosen, they have these chains here, and it's like little pendants on it, and it's always like super nice, like animal teeth or something. And this was all like found in the woods and then made into jewelry. Like this is real silver. This is where we come from. Deer hides, Lederhosen with hand embroidery, and this is all hand stitched. This, for example, is a traditional Bavarian gilet, like a vest thing. These are Florentina buttons, that's what they're called. And then when we made our vest, we used the same buttons, for example.
Do you walk around with that already?
We used to. We used to.
What's your name?
You start again?
Where are you from?
Poland.
We're at this ICC building. It's a cool building. Yeah, just look at it.
Quarter zip sample.
Pretty dope. It's morning. I just made some green tea. It's not kratom. Right now, I'm wearing the hooded long sleeve. This string is a custom made string. It's really hard to find oval full cotton strings, so I'm happy with how it came out. I'm also wearing the prototype wax shorts. These shorts are so awesome. I'm really excited for them to come out. They're getting made right now. And usually I don't like to show stuff before it comes out, but the new stuff is so complicated and it takes so long to make. I feel like I might as well show it. Otherwise I have nothing to show. Full cotton socks, pretty chill. Let's go check out some stores.
So the room that we're in right now is basically like the no arrivals room, that's how we call it. Because everything that's in here is like unrestored. Like we thoroughly inspect every garment for any damages, stains. This Helmut flak, for example, that has this polyurethane padding on the inside that it was really like decomposing and crumbling. We had to, take off all the panels that had like this padding in there, clean it, wash it, vacuum it. Now we have to reassemble it because otherwise it would have affected, the cotton inside, and over time it would just basically destroy itself. It has this issue that the paint is really sticking to itself. If you feel like, especially around the armpit area, sticking to itself and then taking off the paint. So what we need to find is like a finish that we can paint on top. That's messed up. It's really like not made to last. So this is Helmut from summer 2003 in this silk organza. But obviously since it's such a flimsy and fine fabric, you have like a lot of rips like this. So this room is only dedicated to Helmut Lang, 80s to 2005. Why not just show like some really old stuff? Because I feel like it's very underappreciated, on also like unknown how he came into, you know, having his own brand. Because Helmut, as you might know, is an Austrian designer who also was sent, I believe, by his parents when he was like early teenage years to his grandparents in the Alps. So he was living, you know, in like mountains, and he was very much connected to like his Austrian heritage, and also started designing traditional Austrian clothing as his first basic design job. So he was working for this brand called Falvik. I believe they're still active actually nowadays. If you find stuff from this period, like the early 80s, from this brand, you really see like some of the influences that he was also like this heritage thing that he was referencing later with his own brand. Military smock neck that you see here is rather unusual for, you know, this traditional Austrian clothing. Also Southern German clothing is very similar, but stuff like, you know, these flowers that are very specific details from his own brand. This is like late 90s, referencing these same flowers that we see on, you know, traditional Austrian clothing. I think this is a really good example of him reworking traditional Austrian clothing to make it, you know, cool or like runway worthy. It's funny because also like these patterns that are here on the sides are like mythology from, you know, Austria. Something that you would see on like table blankets and stuff like this. Button metal thing says your savior for winter sport. This is 1989. It starts with something like this, like super basic, one pocket cotton jacket. The only thing that he added was these bonus straps. Then they would do one in leather. Basically same thing, the only thing that changed is that it's lined and has like these two pockets in here instead of bonus straps. More towards like the late 90s, early 2000s, you had stuff like this. Same thing, one pocket again. They kept the one horizontal bonus strap, but it's done in like this knitted PVC. So very like futuristic, ravey looking, you know, like clubwear inspired. At the end of the day, it's the same fucking jacket. Very fluffy cotton. It's like double-sided, you have like this jersey on the inside. This coat is from 1995. They used this leather, and basically the way they processed it is they bleached it because, you know, before dyeing you bleach leather obviously, but they left it in a bleached state. So this is like the bleached color basically, this greenish bluish tint. It ages very much specifically depending on where you live and what you do with the garments. This thing, for example, came from a very humid part of Germany in the north. You see how yellow it gets, like super yellow. This one is from like Southern Europe, we found it. It's more like light gray. It's such a clean look for a puffer. You know, you see so many puffers these days. The North Face quilted puffers. Just basic, in my opinion. And then you have something like this that's supposed to be super basic, but it looks really like refined and just better. And it's also not really a military green, it's more a little bit bluish. So this is like a military parka in full sheepskin. It is one of these American parkas. Even the hood is like very much close to the original. This white one is also one of the most popular items, like everybody loves it. We even rent this to like for like VIP appearances on red carpets and stuff. It's basically the same thing copied from the military, from the M65. No fishtail, because he didn't like the fishtail, but he kept the fishtail tape. But yeah, everything else is basically the same. This thing, same design, but done in 100% mesh. So even the liner on the inside is mesh. The hood is mesh, it's mesh through and through. And yeah, I think it's so funny, it's almost hilarious to see, you know, this original super utilitarian garment, heavy, warm, and then it's just like done in full mesh. Big reference piece for Yeezy back in the day. They also bought one from Micah. So this is a biker jacket from summer 2004 with the season signature cutouts on the sleeve. This one is from the same season. It has like the jersey instead of what you would normally have, you know, your motorcycling protection. These tapes on the back. This one actually on the back has like this bum flap panel that you can zip off. The chain on the bottom is actually inspired from Navy bag closures. So this is an Astro jacket, but done in full sequence. So this is from the main line actually, because most of the Astro jackets were from the jeans line. You see it's missing the fur, has the biker sleeves though, but still featuring the zipper, the bonus straps but in like this acetate lining fabric. These asymmetric tank tops, these are actually referenced specifically in this colorway from bandages and during war times when you only had like random, you know, brown bandages. So that's why you have like these asymmetric tank tops. I think you can really see it in this colorway as like a bandage, you know, reference. And these leg straps are actually also a military reference. Military coat, I think it's Dutch military. But if you go lower here, you can see those leg straps that are actually meant for you to, you know, obviously strap around your leg. You want the coat to be tight so it's not, you know, flying around, making noises. He was really loving this detail and was putting it on everything, like, you know, tank tops. Then you would have it also on like women's wear, dresses. So it just becomes like a nice, cute detail. But if you know where it comes from, like it's very utilitarian. Like it's not even really on leg height, it's like on your hip. Basically comes from the Russian Air Force anti-gravity aviator over trousers. So Russian pilot would wear this on top of their uniform when they're flying in a jet. Then it would, you know, fill up with air and get really tight so your blood is circulating.
Can you inflate this one?
No, this one actually not. It has all the details, but I'll show you the original that you can actually inflate. His decision making and, you know, picking colors is really good. If you look at these oranges, they're very specific. Very much workwear, but not, you know, high vis, like what we know from nowadays oranges. Classic one pocket once again, this time in nylon. This one is really old. Also workwear has like the mesh sleeves, the Vienna label era. Fully reflective. I think it even has like the original retail tag. Yeah, it was sold at Maxfield for more than $1,000. This is a mainline Astro jacket also, refined in the details. So did I say mainline? It's also jeans, but it's a leather. So in this room we have all of our denim Helmut collection, and behind me are the accessories from all kinds of periods of the brand, but a lot of these like weird accessories, luxury items that came into existence when Prada acquired the brand. Leather coated pencils with like metal tip. It's actually for the first generation iPod. These are all the underwears. They started producing in Austria and then later went to Japan. Yeah, here we have a lot of belts. This is also all Helmut. Then we have some Raf here. Flowers that we saw on the dress and the jacket. There you go. And this is his namesake brand, and also this is his namesake brand. And you have like the same Austro-Hungarian coins with the eyelets. Like the way he used a little bit of metal here and there and makes it, you know, makes it really cool. Lieve van Gorp, remember the Belgian designer. And then you have all these bags that are also mainly Helmut Lang. It's PVC. Very hard also to keep alive. Like this is such a Balenciaga bag, I think. Some samples in here, like this one for example didn't make it to production, but I really love this thing. I think it's based off like 1960s bags. Here, if you remember the leather jacket that I showed you before, this is like the closure, originally from Navy bags. You see two different manufacturing finishes. Like this one is made in Japan, really beautifully made, you know, like one piece going down here, no stitching. And then you have this that is made in Italy. Look at the finishing here. Like this thing is called the sea wolf. It's a deep sea fish. The pig leather. You see, this one is also really like greenish at this point. It's not even beige. The iconic season with the stripes. Like the jeans, they're based on 501s and 507s. The only thing that he changed is he made the thighs a bit thinner. The classic painters, different versions, different prints and colors they used. These always remind me of like, especially this fading reminds me of like Raf. But this is basically the original version of the Helmut aviator over trousers that I showed you before. It's just heavier and, you know, actually functional. I think it's the Swedish military. So you have a jacket like this, which is actually part of a tank uniform. That is just a really good product, like Swiss Riri zippers for whatever reason. Leather belts on the cuff. Really good cotton also if you feel this. Especially the trousers, they look more like a fashion product to me. But why I really like this thing is because when you open this, look at what we find. So this is British Air Force. And if you remember, Margiela had these garments that had these fake patches on them. This is also something that Helmut referenced a lot. This thing is called the escape vest, and it originates from the British military during the World War II period. This is knitted from one string. You can open it, unravel it, and then you have one long string. And you know, Helmut would do them in like cotton silk blends, you know, and make them like a nice knit. So this is Raf Simons from winter 97, 98. A biker jacket turned into a coat and super, super narrow. Then we have this from winter 2006, the Alien collection. Weird hood, that is, you know, reference from the Alien from the movie. I think Michael got this because it reminds him of something that Helmut would do with this harness detail on the sleeve. Cute knit though. Skinny as fuck. But yeah, slash needs double layering. These are the ones with the pistol belt. Yeah, this one goes also on the back here. Here's our footwear section, obviously mainly Helmut Lang. I believe these are inspired from Russian army trainers or sneakers. These are also inspired by Russian army. Yeah, these are Helmut. This is probably my favorite shape of like formal men's footwear out there. It's like no pointy, it's not fully round. The classic Raf things, Veronique Branquinho, Balenciaga also. Magella copied this 1-to-1. And these are actually sniping gloves, like for snipers with only the trigger finger. So this one for Helmut reference. This is a tropical shirt, also World War II for women, female soldiers actually. One of the earliest examples of, Helmut Lang's slit elbows. They had buttons like this on the garments. They didn't do anything, they just had the buttons there. That's why we think this is the main reference. This is for a gas tank uniform, so you have like this volume on the back here to fit a gas tank underneath, and if we look at the inside, what do we see? Two long straps. He was referencing this a lot, 1941. So we have, classic black flag. What I don't like about these bombers, especially if you compare them to, like let's say your Raf Simons bombers, that these are not oversized. I think most of the people agree with me that you want an oversized bomber, right? Love this jacket. Packable hood, and it's like a traveling pillow collar. So this is based on a DDR, Eastern German jacket. I think one of the best fadings we have in this archive. And the pocket in here, this pocket that you see here, is actually for a gun, for a pistol. So you see the shape, it's like a holster. Can't get more iconic than that, can you? Obviously also based on a field jacket, but the length of this, like when you tighten it, it looks so good. It really comes to life on body. These are like super Austrian. Now you have this and the Raf in your video. I think it's a good comparison. Helmut is a bit more down to earth.
We got a hoodie on, another prototype. It's made out of a thinner terry, 100% cotton fabric. I kind of like thinner fabrics for hoodies because they drape a lot better. This is a size XL. Garment dye on it, so you can kind of see it's like slightly faded on the seams, and it will continue to fade the more you wear it. This is a string I made that's just like a full cotton oval. I don't like when strings have too big of yarns, and I like it when they're not fuzzy. So this is like a really tightly woven, small yarn, cotton oval string. I don't know, it looks really good when you get it. It breaks in nicely. I'm happy with this string. We're in the homie's crib right now. Got it for a good deal, but need a little bit of work.
Basically the sculptures I started to do in 2018, 19, something like this. So this was like before, let's say, the cardboard and paper series. I worked a lot with fabric. So it's a backdrop paper, and I crush it, make it solid, and use it as a table. It's there's a lot of risk to do those tables, so this one comes a little bit, let's say, defect. Usually it's like more, you know, like perfect. And then you have all those like imperfections and crushes on the sides that are very beautiful. There's no singular table as one always, they're all different, just because the material also demands its own way where it's gonna fold. Friends of mine who owns a brand, they asked me if I had like an idea to make a showroom for them out of this like a cardboard idea. So I tried to develop the idea and see like how is it possible to integrate cardboard into like ready-made objects. On my trip to Korea, I saw like how furniture is getting delivered there, and I just imitated it basically, like almost as like a shitty IKEA chair, but just like as a prototype. I like fully just packed it with cardboard, put the flexible rubber into it, so it's still flexible, cannot like hurt you. I tried to do everything out of like a real box. So in the beginning, I had the brown one, so like this bench, and the color of this box is not chosen. The material can have their own willings, let's say, like if you want to be very like spiritual. So this is basically a wet cardboard. So the color kind of resembles this. I like the idea that I didn't choose the color. So this becomes my color. And then like at some point, like last year, I think I made one black one, and I was struggling a lot like how to own the colors. And I was against to use like pigments. So I first tried to burn the box, but it was possible, but it's like super uncontrollable. So this is like was the first prototype of a black, and so you have all this kind of burnt stuff, but I just didn't like the aesthetic of it. I mean, I tried it, I kind of succeeded, but also not really. So the idea came with the leather, like also the shoe boxes. You just implement a different medium, which is also has a natural habitat in this kind of cardboard world. You just need a super thin leather, so the leather can take all the like imperfections, because if you use like a very thick leather, it's not gonna really reveal it. Because you haven't really experienced it, it's like there's still something tells you like careful.
Definitely. Which is kind of like interesting.
And what I also desire. So I scratch on all boxes my signature, basically. So I scratch like a kid. I like this kind of raw, childish, imperfect kind of aesthetic. This is also like a new series of mine where again there's like a lot of childish idea or childish like remembrances. And then I transferred this idea of sand to commercial objects. Like almost you ran through a wet sand, so it's still like flexible and still solid, so you can have it. And this is a new project. This is a very nice, which I extremely love. You have the metal underneath. I put the foam directly to the metal, which is infused together, so it becomes one. So you don't have this kind of other steps, and it's also soft. I would make a different shape out of the metal one. Just was a test, but how this one integrates and plays with this and the color-wise, it's amazing. I'm a little bit against to work with metal in my work, just in general, or like with aluminum. It's very hard like to find your own aesthetic in this world. I had a question like if it's possible to take the you know like let's say the tubes and have it as their own legs. And I work a lot with fiberglass, so I know how it behaves. And this is actually only the fabric basically holds the legs in place like this. They're also like a little bit shaky. But they cannot break because the fiberglass cannot really break. This is my first ever paper bench. And then here are the stools. So you have the black paper stool. This time for an exhibition in Belgium, I wanted to have like a little bit bigger object like as this. So I made the first time try to make a bench. The material in itself and the practice is so experimental, so you never know if the idea will, you know, like hold the human body. This is just also paper folded. Let it like you know, fall in almost. You don't really see it's a stool or it's a usable. It's more like a sculpture, but you can like sit on it as well. Like it's super solid, can hold your body.
Right here, there's an abandoned aircraft. We're catching some sort of vibe.
About to go to the VU store. Rocking this t-shirt from Elsewhere Vintage. Got the new backpack prototype.